allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on my agenda has got to be a moment of silence in honor of Bill Heiser. He served as supervisor for the town honorably. I think he did a good job for the town, and I'd just like to have a brief moment of silence for Bill. Okay, the next item on my list and on your pass out is roll call. Linda basically takes attendance for all the board members that are here. What I would like to do, starting at next month's board meeting, is have a sign-in sheet for everybody that attends the meeting, not just the board members. Basically, this is just another method of tightening up security at board meetings. It was suggested to me by someone, and I think it's a very good suggestion. That way we know who is attending board meetings, and we will be stapling that piece of paper right fast to the permanent board records for the town. Unless I hear any serious objections, we will be requiring that at the next meeting. Okay, next committee reports. Highway Superintendent.
All right. Since last month, I don't feel like it on a day like today, but we were mostly plowing and sanding roads. Continue to do routine maintenance and breakdowns. We had a sprockets and wear out on one of the sanders, and it ruined the chain, so that truck got a new chain, sprockets, a shaft, and some bearings. It's all back together now. We fixed a couple washes where water had run onto the roads, and repaired a couple spots where water was running across the road to try to keep it in the ditches. To help alleviate ice when it gets cold. We have cold patched potholes on town and county roads. That's about it for the guys. I will be attending Advocacy Day March 7th in Albany. Highway superintendents from across the state get together and try to get more money for CHIPS. It's been successful in the past, and I do it every year. I've gone almost every year, and I will go again. I think it's next Wednesday.
Exactly the same.
7th, yeah. And the last thing I got is, last month we talked about selling the 2 pickup trucks on Auctions International. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to list the 1 ton because the dump box for the new one isn't here yet. And Auctions International wouldn't let us list it without knowing exactly when the new one would be ready, when we could get rid of the old one. So, since it doesn't cost anything, I listed just the 08 3/4 ton. It did not bring the $14,000 like we discussed. So I counter offered with the $14,000, and the gentleman that was high bidder refused it. He actually had his son come up from the other side of Albany last weekend and look at the truck. So we still have it to sell. I would suggest putting a for sale sign on it, putting it out by the road for $14,000. Since we already tried selling it and it didn't bring that number, we're still trying to get the best value to the town. If it sells for $14,000 before the new 1 ton is ready to sell, we sell it. If not, we relist it when we list the 1 ton. So I would just like board permission to set that out with a for sale sign. I did have some local interest in it, but nobody wanted to buy it off Auctions International and pay the 10%. So there is some local interest. Whether or not those will be fruitful or not, I don't know. I mean, we could even run a small ad in the paper, country folks, or not country folks, but penny saver or something, listing we got for sale too, if we wanted to.
Any questions for Mr. Logan? Any other ideas on how to market that truck? So I
Well,
take
you
it
can do anything, we can do anything with it.
Well, we could solicit bids of,
You can do a sealed bid thing if you want, but.
but if no one's gonna bid on it,
But
or
the thing is, I think that one, when you sell that truck and the other one at the same time, I think between the two of them, we'll get 27,000, but I couldn't take 11,000 without the other one selling the same day, and that's why I refused it and went with, and counter offered. So if we could get the 14,000, I'm pretty sure we could get at least 13 for the dump truck.
how many weeks away are we for the 1 ton?
The body went through the annual company shutdown, so I don't know. They can't give me an answer. The body's not built yet.
A little frustrating for you then.
Yeah, so the truck is built, sitting in Albany, waiting for the dump box.
Well, it's not gonna cost us anything to put a sign on it. Well,
Doesn't cost us anything.
what do you have to lose? Might as well try that. And
For some reason, the pickup truck market heats up a little bit in the spring, who knows? Maybe it'll work. If not, rebidding it, but I'm not familiar with this auction thing that you're talking about. How long does that have to get stale before you don't have to pay them some kind of a commission?
There's no commission by us at all, it's all by the buyer.
Okay,
So as long as they refuse it, as long as the buyer refuses it, there's no buyer's premium, they don't make anything.
so we're not obligated to that auction house in any way at this point?
Correct.
Okay. Any more questions, comments? I would ask our highway superintendent also to give us a brief rundown on problems in Wagner's Hollow Road. We participated with the county in some flooding problems on the Wagner's Hollow Road.
Wagner's Hollow Road flooded in a weird spot. It didn't flood where you would think it would flood. The ice jammed up, got hung up in the trees, and come out into the creek in a very odd spot where I would have never thought it would have come out on the road.
We could have lost 3-4 house trailers very fast.
Right, and emergency management from Fonda was there. The county, Sean was down there, and it started getting late, and it was by a bunch of minds thinking together. The best thought was to block the road off for the night with sand, so that if the ice jam did slide down the road, the sand would help stop it, and then the water could fall back into the creek. So Sean had the county trucks come up. I went up about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night and loaded 6 loads of sand. We took down, they dumped it across the road, blocked the road off, and as luck would have it, the ice held for the night. The sand the next morning, 3/4 of it was picked up, put back on the trucks, and brought right back to the town barn. So,
That's the first time I've seen ice over a foot thick in that creek.
oh, them chunks were pretty thick.
What's that, a 2-yard bucket, 2.5? And some of those
On that
chunks
loader,
didn't
yours-
fit on that loader.
3 yard, I think yours was
Ours
got.
is
Is it
a
3 yard?
3.5 yard loader bucket.
And the ice was about 4 feet thick on the road, deep, 4 feet deep, and
Right.
piled up for quite a ways.
Yeah.
But in the course of the next day, like I say, the county picked the sand back up, put it back in their trucks, brought it back to us. They opened the road up. They did leave the signs up, closed overnight again, because the water was right up to the edge of the road, and there was some ice still holding the water in the creek. And they were afraid if they moved that ice, it was right on the edge of the road, that the water would come out in the creek. So overnight, the water seceded enough that the following day they opened it back up.
Since then, the shoulders have been repaired and back to traffic.
And it was interesting to see the creek flood there. I never
See
thought
that.
it would flood where it did.
Okay.
Anybody is interested, I have pictures.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've seen that creek flood many a time, but never in that place.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay, dog control officer.
Okay, last month I had one dog pickup. I handled one rabies case, which has been completed and closed. I issued 13 10-day notices for non-renewal of license and one for no license. I had 2 calls of lost dogs, which were both reunited with their owners. And, oh no, one is still missing. The husky is still missing. And I had 2 calls of found dogs, and they were reunited with their owners. And that was it.
Thank you very much. I would like to add to the dog control officer's report also that there has been an ongoing discussion that's over a year old about our dog control law in the town of Palatine. It doesn't have the appropriate teeth in it. We have people who acquire a fistful of tickets and don't respond. There is a motion today, in today's meeting, to begin the process to change that dog control law. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Okay, assessor's report.
She's not here, but she submitted a report.
Okay.
It's in your package. Yeah, I gave you a couple.
Got one?
Yep, you got one. Yep, you do.
Okay, exemption forms, all exemption forms are due by Thursday, March 1st. I will be holding office hours on Thursday from 12:30 to 3 to accommodate any last-minute filings. Building permit review will be completed over the next 2 weeks. Grievance day will be held Tuesday, May 22nd, 2018. The Board of Assessment Review has not set the hours to date, but I will contact the chairperson to see what hours they will hear complaints. Respectfully submitted, Leanne Laux. Okay, code enforcement officer.
You all have my report. Slow on permits going out, closing up some from last year and some that went out earlier this year, as you can see on the CCs. Scary County is holding a lot more classes this year over in our county buildings. I plan on attending quite a few of those. They go together with what they want to do this year. I can get like 28 in-service credit hours, but normally when you go to the conference, you get your 28 there, and you only need a 24. So I'll probably still go to the conference. Since the middle of last year, I've been working on 2 properties. One has been on the back burner with this town since I came aboard. We opened up the can of worms back when the church and everybody else was involved on it, and then everybody else except for me slowly piddled out, excuse me. And so it's brought up again on what's going on with the property. So you're going to be seeing some action on that property. The property on Dillonbeck Road also, thanks to a resident right in that area, and Leanne and myself, we were able to find, actually those 2, excuse me, they were able to find the address of a lady that owns property over there, and we sent her 2 letters and both different addresses, and they come back. So we are sending out the certified and the regular letters, and then they're coming back. Other than that, that's it.
Thank you. Town clerk.
Well, taxes are coming in good. Today's the last day on the 1%, tomorrow starts at 2%. I'm gonna be taking the county's money down to them on Monday. Get the checks ready, time to get, processed and that. Also, a lady called me from Fonda. I think we've kind of been lapsed on this. I think, if I'm not mistaken, American Legion used to get flags from Don's Electric and put them on the graves in the town cemeteries for Memorial Day. And I think we're kind of lapsed on that because I don't remember seeing any bills come in for it. And this lady from the county says that the county, a lot of the towns are buying the flags from the county this year. 144 flags for cemeteries would be $90, and she wants to know if our town is interested in purchasing flags for the cemeteries. Now, the only other problem is, I don't know how they would get on the cemeteries, because I think the American Legion always did that. So I didn't ask her how they would get on, but unless, maybe the Boy Scouts would put them on or something, I don't know.
Maybe we can get OTI when they do the maintenance, because they've been mowing for us, haven't they?
They have been
Yeah.
for a couple of years,
Yeah,
yeah.
so maybe they could do that as part of their deal, and
I
that
don't
might be
know.
good.
But I know, like I said, they used to do it automatically and send a bill from Don's Electric for the flags and put them on, but I don't remember seeing anything in the last couple of years, so I don't know if anybody wants to, if you guys want to do anything about it. I don't know how soon we have to know.
I was gonna say, that's in May.
That's in May,
So we've
the end of
got
May,
March and April to get our
Yeah.
ducks in a row
Yeah.
here if we
decide to
choose
do it.
to do anything.
But, I do have a phone number for her. If there's any questions that maybe you want me to ask her, I can call her and find out, and,
My memory serves me correctly, the American Legion members used to distribute the flags in the
Right, I think they
cemetery.
did.
So I would think our first thing that we should do is contact them and see if they are indeed going to get distributed. If they don't want to distribute them, nobody's going to distribute them, why are we buying them?
yeah, right, well, that's the whole thing, and that's what I didn't, after I got all this information, and I didn't think to ask her, if we bought the flags, how would we get them distributed?
This person that called you, is she from the American Legion?
No, she's from the county, she works for the county, Dawn, her name is, I don't know what it,
Don from Veteran Affairs.
yeah, Veterans Affairs, yeah.
Well, it's not a question of a huge amount of money, it's a question of
Getting them in.
getting
Get
the
'em
ducks
on,
in a row
yeah.
here so that something gets done. I'll make some phone calls and see.
Well, I can call Dawn too and ask her if we do get them, if they do have somebody to do it, or maybe they do get veterans to do it, I don't know. Let me call her too and let me see if I can get some more information from her. Or whereabouts is she, Sean, and,
Annex building.
well, I'm gonna go down there Monday anyway, maybe I'll
If you
stop
go,
and see her.
if you go in the main front, I'm gonna say the main front door, which would be the east end of the building, go to your right and down to the corner and just kind of
Yep.
veer to the right a little bit,
Yep.
and she's right there.
Okay, maybe
Or
I'll
veer to
stop
the
in and
left.
see her,
Yep, she's right next to the civil service office.
okay?
And we're going to find out what, if somebody is going to
Yeah,
put the flags on the
yeah,
graves?
I'll find out for her
And-
if somebody
and
is.
The other question in my mind right away becomes, how many flags do we need? Not that they're available, 144 to rip. How many?
Do we
I
need
have
it?
no idea.
I have no idea either.
Well, somebody's gotta tell me what that number is
Yeah.
before I get too interested in saying, well, let's spend some money.
Yeah,
I don't know where you would get a count of the veterans in graves in Montgomery County or the town of Palatine, but
well, I can
Is that-
also call Don's
think
Electric,
that falls
because like I
under
said,
history.
they used to get them from Don's Electric, and maybe they knew how many they bought.
Be a good place for them to start.
Yeah, I'll call Don's Electric too.
so if I could be assured here that, you would get a rough count and we knew that the flags were gonna get put on the graves, I could be convinced to say, well, we'll allocate up to $144 at the $94 and not have to deal with it at a board meeting again? Does that make sense to everybody?
Sure.
If somebody would like to make a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Is that all there is to the town
That's all
clerk's
there is
ditty?
to me, yep.
Okay. Planning board? Do we have anything from the planning board this month?
Secretary's in San Francisco.
Excuse me, Hank?
Nancy's in San Francisco. Sometimes she would make a report at the,
Okay.
if the chairman was there.
All right. Board of Ethics. I guess we should have a discussion here rather than a report. We have a ethics law in force. You'll note later on in the outline here, I have some suggested names to serve on the ethics board. Any discussion here probably will result in some board discussion of various personal things regarding projected in appointees. If you would like, we can go into an executive session and discuss.
Move to go into executive session.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. Just so we're aware, I think there's some confusion. There were two appointments and one tentative appointment to the Ethics Board.
Yes.
Last January. The three members, with the exception of the proposed board member, because the law did not admit an appointment, were successfully appointed. They rewrote the law that we then passed in December, which does not preclude them from still sitting on the board. As a matter of fact, I made some notes and had our law vetted with Lori Minton DeMasi over at the Association of Towns. And indeed, they do serve at the privilege of the board, but they're still active members today, these two members, which would be Bill and Paul. The way to get them to be unactive members is for the board to vote them out at this point. So unless the board wants to vote them out, we only need to fill one more position. And this is not my opinion, this is the opinion of the Association of Towns after vetting the law. So we currently have two active members on the board right now.
That's it?
Well, that's it. I mean,
Okay,
Can I,
my turn?
sure.
can I
Okay.
interject something here? Because I think I'm still on the ethics board, right?
This is not public.
I know, but I am on the ethics board, correct?
Technically,
Yes.
I don't know. Our town attorney did not render an opinion there. However, there is a section in the town law that indicates that if people who are appointed to positions do not take the oath of office within 30 days, the office is void. It doesn't say we need a resolution. It doesn't say anything at all about anything, other than the position is empty. Now, just in case, I have a motion I can go back in my office and get and introduce, and this board will pass, voiding the positions that were filled. Because one opinion is the positions were filled before the ethics law was passed. I don't care much how we do this.
Well, I think we should do that then.
We can.
I think we should do it and have a roll call vote of who wants to vote no or yay to the people that want to
Chris.
serve our town.
You had your turn, now it's my turn, and I'm not done.
Well, please continue.
But thank you for your permission.
Sure.
You're pretty pleasant. That's why I kind of wanted to go into executive session. And I know there are some old issues here that I would just as soon not cover that ground. I would like to act in a positive attitude going ahead. You will recall at a prior board meeting, I asked for anybody who wanted to serve on the ethics board to submit a letter of interest. I have 3 letters of interest.
That's incorrect.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That letter of
Mr.
interest was sent on the
Supervisor,
29th of
This
January.
letter has been in the,
I haven't seen it.
Well, the clerk
That's because
failed to pick it up from the
Linda
post
Logan
office.
did not pick it up yet.
Oh, what you do, send a certified mail?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to do that.
Yes, you do.
I accept the mail.
When was this certified?
29th of January.
29th of January? I never got a letter to pick it up.
Yes, you did.
I most certainly did not.
I got tabulation here. I picked it up today at the post office. I got tabulation right here with me.
Well, I can't help it you two can't communicate. A simple first-class letter to the town will get opened. And if you want to be that legally correct, the correct way to do it is to send a first-class envelope with first-class postage and a certified envelope. And then, if the addressee fails to pick up the certified envelope, the first-class mail is considered legal delivery. Check with your attorney, check with anybody you want about mail processing. That's the way it works. Now, I realize in the past, we all argued around here, and we all wanted to have our way, and we all did things like this. Now, why a citizen in the town of Palatine would have to send a certified letter to the town is beyond me. It should be a government serving the people here. A first-class postage or bring the mail right in and put it through the window and give it to the town clerk. We don't need all this fancy stuff. You will be considered, all right? But to be considered, I would like to vet this old stuff in an executive session. Now, we had a motion, we had a second, and now we've had some discussion.
I'm not finished with my discussion, Mr.
Okay.
Supervisor.
Let's have